Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Know Your Mods. I'm your host, Ron Hay, the CEO of ModBargains. I'm actually very delighted today to bring you guys a product line that I have been very passionate about in bringing to you guys within ModBargains and to introduce to the community. It is Remus. We're going to look at their history. We're going to talk about what makes them special, what they've done in terms of technology, and why do we even care, right? In 1990, Angelica and her husband, basically from Remus, they were working for the exhaust company Sebring, then they went off on their own. And what did they do? They made exhaust products. They believed in the aftermarket scene. So they created for the aftermarket scene for racing products. They had seen all these OEMs making products, but they were like, hey, it's not being made for the aftermarket. Well, 7 years later, hundreds of employees later, they have acquired enough capital and they ended up purchasing Sebring. Sebring is a company that is making a lot of the stuff for the manufacturers. We're talking about Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, BMW. All of these guys are getting their exhaust made by Sebring, or now known as Remus. So a lot of it's top secret. They didn't want this information, but I convinced them, hey, it's good information to be out there. All those Brabus exhausts, they're being made by Remus. All those AMG exhausts, they're made by it. All your OEM exhausts, they're being made by Remus. So in terms of quality and technical knowledge, it's there, and they're making it for your OEMs, and they're making it for the race cars. So they start off in the aftermarket, they jumped into the OEMs, they still can produce for the OEMs, and now they're continuing with the aftermarket scene. So what makes Remus, like, what markets are they in? Where are they at? Well, they're all over the place. They're all distributed worldwide. Obviously, they're working with the OEMs, and they're actually in multiple race cars. So from DTM Racing, which is one of their prominent places, pretty much considered one of the highest levels of racing, and Formula One, where they're creating Inconel and so forth, there's a lot of stuff that they're producing for. So a lot of stringent needs, right? So in racing, you need this high quality, high amount of heat for race cars, and then you've got the OEMs. The OEMs have laws across the world, right? We have different laws in Germany than we have here in California. We have different laws in Japan and Singapore. These vehicles are being sold everywhere. You need durability. You need different requirements that are needed by every different government, right? So what makes these exhausts so amazing, and what are they doing into it? What's the difference, right? So a lot of people make exhaust, but what's the difference? What's Remus doing? Some of the stuff is the same, right? They're using mandrel bending to make sure that it's all smooth, but they're also doing some other little things that are very different. They have machines that will actually check the thickness of the welds. They have to do that because of the OEMs. There is no failure. There's no allowed failure for it. The same thing within, the aftermarket scene. When you ask them, like, well, have you had any returns? No. They're using 3D modeling. Making sure that everything is to us 100% to spec. Since they're using OEM, when you're buying a Remus exhaust, it's going to fit right on there. There's not going to be a waste of time. So you're not going to waste your money paying the installer extra amount of time because it's the same as an OEM fitment. That's a big thing. But then it goes into more other things that other manufacturers just can't offer. Let's say shop peening. So this exhaust here is beautiful. This is an M4 exhaust that's sitting here, and it's been shop peened. Well, what's the purpose of doing it? Besides making it look very pretty, it actually makes the airflow a little bit smoother. But when you do that, well, now you actually warp it a little bit. So you have to readjust it. Most exhaust manufacturers are like, we're not gonna waste our time. It's gonna cost us a lot more, plus the technology to do it. But they're doing it. They're going to that next level. So they're not just doing stainless steel, they'll do titanium, they'll do Inconel. They do a lot of different variations. And with the technology that they have, they're putting it across the board. Let's say you want a full titanium system, you can get one. Or you might want to have different variations of stuff, and they'll use that in the combination with carbon fiber and so forth. So let's look at it. So we've got the aesthetic look here, and let's look at like the exhaust tips here. So right here we've got the exhaust tips. And this is the older design. Actually used to be a little bit of a different shape. But this is your standard, chrome exhaust tip that you see with any typical thing, and you've got the nice logo on here. It's made out of stainless steel, high quality, and it's great. Now here's where you start using combination of technology. I believe like 5 years ago or so they acquired a carbon fiber, so it's made in-house. The carbon fiber is made in-house. It was actually a bicycle company before, and they loved the strength of it and so forth, and they purchased it. But anyway, carbon fiber being so popular and lightweight, well, they combined it here with the stainless, so you can get that nice look, and it's still stainless steel. And you've got it here in black. You got it. So because we all have different needs and what the way we want it to look. And over here, whoa. So this versus this, wow. Completely different weight. This is titanium inside here. So it's not just carbon fiber on the outside, but this is titanium. So it's about 1/3. We'll get you the exact number, but it's 1/3 of the weight. And that's what I'm talking about. Using that different type of material, technology that they have, this is amazing. So this is where racing pedigree comes from. And you grab this stuff and you have it on your car and it just looks amazing. You've got the logo on here and it's gonna be durable. So let's look at a car that we've actually had. We have it here, it's our own shop car. We've had it on, I think probably about 3 years, and it's been on with carbon fiber piece. And why have carbon fiber? Because it looks damn good with the diffuser. So we've got it here with the diffuser and it just looks so damn good. So, but if you look at the quality of it after 3 years of daily driving, it still looks amazing, still looks brand new. And that's the great part of why Remus, the technology, the OEM, all the important little things that they do. It's incredibly impressive what they've got there and the technology that they're using. So, and it's why F1 and DTM and a lot of these race car companies are going to them. That's why it's Porsche's using it. That's why AMG's using them, Aston Martin. That's why all of these manufacturers are going there. So let's talk about their sound. It's loud and not loud sometimes. There's a little bit of a confusion there. So why is that? Well, in Europe, we have what's called homologation. And homologation is this noise ordinance. And there's trying to pass one here in California. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But it's noise ordinances that are in place in certain countries. Where places where we can have a full, nice sound, rich sound, they have created 2 versions of their exhaust. So in Europe, the European version, we call it here the street version. The one that was allowed to be sold here, the one that's louder, that's called the race version. So we call it the US race version. Oftentimes we just drop the US and we just say race version because that's what I like and you like in the aftermarket scene. So it has a lot, it's a lot louder, it sounds a lot better. It sounds more like a race car. And where does all this engineering? Well, they've got an insane room. You guys can check it out when I was there. And it is filled, I mean, with the technology to basically fine tune a sound. Meaning so that you don't have to have drone. You can get to the right level of pitch, that it's high enough, but it's not gonna hurt your ears. You're gonna have that nice distinguished sound. And that's what it's all about, right? We're all looking for that sound. That's what we're adding these exhausts. We want that sound. Yes, it's lighter and better performance, maybe some more horsepower, but we want that sound. We want to be able to hear our cars. We don't want a little speaker that BMW threw on there, right? We don't want that sound. We want the real sound. Because things are changing, laws are changing. We have new technology that's coming out from Remus, and we have new technology from our manufacturers. They've got valves. So Remus builds their exhaust to match those valves so you can have it open and closed. But let's say your car didn't come with a valve, right? Like it did with the Type R, for example. So you might want to be able to control it so it's not loud in the morning and you're not waking up your neighbors, right? So you can add these components where you can have valve sounds, you can open it and close it. And that's a really nice new piece of technology that they're adding. So they're obviously working with the system. They're making it better for us. We're getting that nice sound, but we're also getting it so that it's nice in the cabin. We're not droning. We're not gonna have a headache afterwards, and we're still getting that nice aggressive sound that we wanna hear. So that's what they're about. And thanks to having the Red Bull ring right there, they got their own private tracks. They spent millions and millions of dollars in this sound tuning, really sound tuning right to the vehicles, the way the vehicle should sound. And that's what they've really been always about. So one of the reasons that I really wanted to bring Remus out as a Know Your Mods is the amazing value. And you might think like, oh, they're very expensive. No, they're actually not. With the value of what you're getting and where it's priced in the marketplace, it's right in that sweet spot. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the best value, especially for an Austrian-made system that we're getting imported in. because you're also not going to have to spend a crazy amount unless you want to pay for it, right? So you can get it in titanium or you can get it in stainless steel. Obviously, there's going to be a price difference. Or you can go in different stages as you do this. You can get just the mufflers, and then you can add the connecting pipes, you can add the mid pipe. So you can add on, it's very modular with it, which is great because now you're not spending a lot on it and they're priced right in the sweet spot, right where exhaust should be at. So that's one of the great things that I think that Remus is able to do, because economies of scale, they've got the factories for it, and they're able to produce the quality and then still maintain this high level of products. If you enjoy videos like this, we have other videos showing the sounds on different vehicles, so you can kind of hear it. We'll do our best to capture as many as possible, but it's always difficult. Obviously, feel free to give us a call, talk to us here. And one of the big things is, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up or share it and subscribe. The way we make these videos is because if you're subscribing, and that matters to us, it matters to me, it matters to the entire team, so we need to produce these, showing it to others, to educate us, the community, and other fellow enthusiasts. And if you have any other questions, put it in the YouTube comment place. You'll see that I often comment, or someone from the team does. But I do read them. I do try to respond as fast as we can. And I truly do believe in this product. Thanks, guys.